area, the water always flowed down that way towards the school in the distance. Before the school was there, it went out the back. Now, everything is forced to an area that never had water before. But now this water is coming our way. As we come down through into the pit, through this area here is where it used to go towards the old Elford. Natural ground stopped it from ever going that way. It never flushed the ground to that direction. This water used to just flow out the back. Problems we seem to be having now are these rocks. As you see, when I pry this rock up out, or even this one, we're getting sediments that are now forming. This happens when it rains, the groundwater bubbles up. This is a new rock just appeared here. This is some of the granite. You can see the cleaner granite that has been staying in the ground, but you can see the sediments that flow up and bubble up at the top of the ground. Whenever water fills up in here, whenever it rains, you get a collection of water, this sediment and stuff bubbles up into the ground. These areas, the shrubs, grasses are dying every time the contaminants bubble up. This small pool of water used to be loaded full of frogs, all kinds of aquatic life. No longer there. They're disappearing. This area here, as you can see, the plants in the ground they're dying. Something's killing all this stuff. The shrubs are barely growing. In further investigating in this pit, I came across something that was very disturbing. This whole area died. Whatever this thing is, as you can see, has killed everything around it. There's some very, very disgusting looking sludge hardened and caped onto this. As you see, as it rains and water seeps off, it slowly kills everything around it. Further investigation, this main part of the pit, the old pit, you can see that there's there's residue, there's slime, there's some form of whatever forming on all this stuff when it rains. The ground has all been disturbed. Now, as you see here, old parts of machinery and other things are now starting to surface where there was all buried as a landfill many years ago. Out into this area, all stuff from other areas are now starting to surface here. This is used as a drain collection pool with highly contaminated ground. This contamination now is being forced into the groundwater where we just came from. It is now working across and into the homes on the Old Elford Road, Hannah Drive, further down through. Stay back. I can walk through this water on the junk coming up through the ground. As you see, I'm standing on what seems to be an old tire that at one time has been buried, but now resurfacing through the ground. It goes along with whatever that old tub is. There's major stuff buried here that they're all trying to hide. This water is highly contaminated. Stuff dies, stuff can't grow, stuff can't recoup. These are some of the evidence and some of the proof I will be using to prove this area should have never been disturbed. The area with the school in the distance was part of this old pit where stuff was buried. Sludges and contaminants were dug out of the ground and dumped on the backside of the high berm into the new athletic fields, which is now seeping into water further down the Old Elford Road into what the area of Oak Lane, Hemlock. Their wells, I will be documenting their tests, their wells are now highly contaminated with what's ever being forced and was disturbed in this ground that never should have been or should have been cleaned up. These trees and these shrubs out through here have never been able to grow up in the 12 years I've been here. If this was my property, you could find possibly residues within their trunks, but I can't legally cut the tree down. This whole area now floods majorly and flushes toxins out. This is uphill from normal flow. This never should have been used as a storm collection pool that now spills across where we started this documentation and flows into an area that was always 5 to 6 feet higher than normal existing ground, which is now same dead spots, rocks covered in some sediment and minerals that were never there before. And I think something has to be done. As you see to my right, that is all fill. That is the new parking lot. That is what is stopping all the flow from going where it used to go. Now it stays here and bubbles toxins out of the ground. This I will be slowly proving with water tests from past, in between, and present. And thank you for your time.